So in last lecture, we already finished a theory on reciprocating compressor, that is single stage reciprocating compressor, multi-stage reciprocating compressor, then work done in case of a single stage reciprocating compressor and multi-stage reciprocating compressor. In today's lecture, we will see some of the numericals on single stage reciprocating compressor and multi-stage reciprocating compressor. Okay, so before going to the numerical, we will see some of the formulas. These are the formulae we already seen in last lecture also, but just we revise this in order to solve the numericals. Okay, so first formula that we should know is nothing but the swept volume. As you all know that what is the swept volume. Okay, and this formula is pi by 4 d square into L. The next thing that we should know that is mean effective pressure, and its formula is work done to the stroke volume. The next formula is that is mechanical efficiency. It is nothing but the indicated power to the brake power. We all know that the mechanical efficiency of a reciprocating compressor is a reverse of mechanical efficiency of a IC engine. Brake power can be found out as indicated power plus friction power. Next formula that we should know that is indicated work input. This can be written as N upon N minus 1 into mass of air into gas constant into the temperature difference. There is another formula for indicated work input, and this work input is generally in case of a polytropic process. Indicated power, just we have to multiply work input with the RPM and the number of suction strokes. Divided by 60, we will get the indicated power. Then velocity of a piston, case of a single acting compressor, it is stroke into number of RPMs. This will be in meter per second or meter per minute. For double acting compressor, it is twice of stroke into RPM. Then some of the efficiencies are there which we should know. That is adiabatic efficiency. We already derived formula for the isotropic work input, isothermal work input, and indicated work input. Now, the adiabatic efficiency is nothing but the isentropic work input to the actual work input. Isothermal efficiency is nothing but isothermal work input to the actual work input. The efficiency of a compressor is nothing but isothermal work input to the indicated work input. This is also called as isothermal efficiency. Okay, so formula for efficiency of a volumetric efficiency is nothing but 1 minus pressure ratio raised to 1 upon n minus 1 into clearance ratio. As we all know that clearance ratio is nothing but a ratio of clearance volume to a stroke volume. So these are the formulae we need in order to solve the numericals on reciprocating compressor. Now we will see the numericals on reciprocating compressor. First numerical, that is on single stage. A single stage, single acting reciprocating air compressor delivers 0.7 kg of air per minute at 6 bar. The suction temperature and pressure are 25 degrees Celsius and 1 bar. The bore and stroke of compressor are 100 mm and 150 mm. The clearance is 3% of swept volume, assuming index of compression and expansion to be 1.3. And what are the parameters that we have to find out? That the volumetric efficiency of a compressor, power supplied to drive the compressor, if mechanical efficiency is 85%, and last thing that we have to find out the speed of a compressor. Now, given that it is a single stage, single acting reciprocating compressor and it delivers 0.7 kg of air per minute, means air flow rate is 0.7 kg per minute at a that is discharge pressure of 6 bar, where we can say discharge pressure is 6 bar. Then suction temperature and pressure are, means suction temperature and pressure is our 25 degrees Celsius and 1 bar, means P value of T1 will be 25 degrees Celsius and value of P1 will be 1 bar. Value of P2 will be 6 bar and volume flow rate or mass flow rate of air is 0.7 kg per minute. The next thing given is bore and stroke of a compressor. Bore is nothing but the internal diameter of a compressor, that is 100 mm, and stroke is nothing but the length, that is 150 mm. And last thing given is that is clearance, means whatever the clearance volume is 3% of swept volume, and assuming the index of compression expansion to be 1.3, means the process that is carried out in the compression is by a polytropic manner. Okay, so what we have to find out: volumetric efficiency of compressor, power supplied to drive the compressor, and speed of compressor. So these are the given data. We already seen it. Mass flow rate is also given there. The discharge pressure is 6 bar. Then suction pressure is 1 bar. Now this P2 is equal to P3 means what? Here we can see the process. That is 1 to 2 there will be a compression. 2 to 3 there will be a delivery of air to the storage tank. 3 to 4 there will be a expansion in the cylinder. And 4 to 1 there will be a suction stroke that is carried out in the cylinder. Now this P2 pressure will be equals to P3 and P1 is equal to P4. That is the reason why here we write down it as a P1 is equal to P4 and P2 is equal to P3. Then stroke is also given, bore is also given. The last thing given is that is clearance volume is 3% of stroke volume. So one can say that here the value of C, that is clearance ratio, is equal to 0.03. The value of clearance ratio is 0.03, as clearance ratio is nothing but VC upon VS. Okay, now what are the parameters that we have to find out is, first we have to find out the volumetric efficiency of a compressor. As you all know that the volumetric efficiency of a compressor is nothing but actual volume flow rate, actual volume to the theoretical volume, actual volume to the theoretical volume. Now, what is actual volume in this case? Actual volume flow rate is nothing but the this much amount of volume, that is V1 minus V4, and theoretical volume is nothing but this V1 minus V3, that is Vs. This is the wrong one. This is Vc, and from this point onward, this is Vs. So the theoretical volume is V1 minus V3 and actual volume is V1 minus V4. But in this case, as the value of Vc is known to, as the value of C is known to us, that is the clearance ratio is known to us, that is 0.03. So we can use this formula. That is 1 minus C into P2 by P1 raised to 1 upon n minus 1. As the volumetric efficiency formula is this, so you can put all the values in volumetric formulas. The value of clearance ratio, that is Vc by Vs, is 0.03, and pressure ratio is 6. As P2 pressure is 6 bar, P1 pressure is 1 bar. So this is 6 divided by 1 raised to 1 upon the index of compression is 1.3. Just minus it from this equation minus 1. We'll get final answer, that is 91.1%. Means this volumetric efficiency of a compressor is 91.1%. That means what? The fresh air supplied to the air is 91.1%, and approximately 8.9% of air is expanded in a during a delivery stroke in a compressor. Okay, so this is all about volumetric efficiency of a compressor. Now next thing that we have to find out is power supplied to drive the compressor if mechanical efficiency is 85%. Just raise your hand so that I can clear that you are understanding the concepts. Up to this you understand the volumetric efficiency. You understand how to calculate volumetric efficiency. If value of clearance ratio is not given, if the value of clearance ratio is not given, in that case we can find out the volumetric efficiency, eta volumetric. If the value of clearance ratio is not given, then in that case we can find out the volumetric efficiency, that finding out the V1 minus V4 divided by swept volume, so that you can find out the volumetric efficiency. In that condition, we need to find out V1, V4, and stroke volume, so that we can find out the volumetric efficiency. If the clearance ratio is not given, in that case, we have to use this formula. Okay, so we move further. Now next thing that we have to find out is the power supply to drive the compressor if mechanical efficiency is 0.85%. As you all know that the mechanical formula for mechanical efficiency is nothing but that is eta mechanical is nothing but indicated power to the brake power. Indicated power to the brake power. Now how to find out the indicated power? So we already derived this formula, and the formula is that is n upon n minus 1 into PV. This here we use ideal gas equation, and instead of writing PV we are writing MRT. So as you all know that the ideal gas equation is all known to all of you, that is PV is equal to MRT. From this equation we put this here, and this is pressure ratio raised to n minus 1 upon n minus 1. As this is a single stage compressor, so value of a k will be 1 here also and here also. If it is a multi-stage compressor, then we have to multiply with the number of stages in order to calculate the brake power. Now this is a formula for the brake power. Now we have to find out the brake power. So this formula can be written as value of n is known to us, that is 1.3, and mass flow rate is 0.7 kg per minute. So we have to convert this into a kg per second. So this can be written as 0.7 divided by 16. The value of R for air is 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Temperature is known to us, that is the T1 temperature is nothing but 298 Kelvin. Is given 298 Kelvin. And pressure ratio, the next thing that is n, value of n is 1.3, and if you minus 1 from the n, it comes out to be 0.3 into pressure ratio, that is given 6 raised to 0.3 upon 1.3 minus 1. This will give us in a brake power. This will got brake power as 2.214 kilowatt. This will got 2.214 kilowatt. Now what we have to find out, that is power supplied to drive the compressor. Power supplied to drive the compressor. The power supplied to drive the compressor, as you all know that the mechanical efficiency is nothing but indicated power to the brake power. Indicated power to the brake power. So this is the power available at the reciprocating compressor shaft, and this is the power available within the reciprocating compressor. So sorry, this is a formula for indicated power. So we already find out the indicated power, that is comes out to be 2.214. Okay, so we have to find out the brake power. So just cross multiply. We already find out indicated power divided by mechanical efficiency, we will get the brake power, and it is comes out to be 2.6 kilowatt. Okay, so this is formula for indicated power, that is a work done by a reciprocating compressor when compression is carried out by polytropic process. And this is the formula by which we can find out the brake power, that is power required to drive the reciprocating compressor. I'll just elaborate this. Suppose this is a compressor. Okay, so whatever the power required to drive the compressor, the power available at the shaft will be brake power, and whatever the power available inside the reciprocating compressor is indicated power, and the ratio of this indicated power to the brake power, that is output to the input, is nothing but the mechanical efficiency of a reciprocating compressor, and it is a reciprocal of engine's mechanical efficiency. So this is how you can find out the brake power, that is power required to drive the reciprocating compressor. This simply implies that the capacity of motor required in order to drive the reciprocating compressor. If it is 2.6 kilowatt, then approximately we need to have 4 HP motor in order to drive the compressor. We need to have a 4 HP motor in order to drive the compressor. Okay, so this is all about power required to drive the compressor if mechanical efficiency is given. Okay, so this is simple formula you can use. Now next thing that they have asked is speed of a compressor. Now we have to find out the speed at which compressor runs. Okay, so next thing we have to find out the speed of a compressor. Before going to the speed of a compressor, I will just repeat the formula of volumetric efficiency. The volumetric efficiency is nothing but beta volumetric is nothing but V1 minus V4 upon stroke volume. That is actual volume swept inside the cylinder to the stroke volume or a theoretical volume. That is nothing but the efficiency of volumetric efficiency. If you have to calculate the speed of a compressor, we need to use this formula to calculate the speed of a compressor. Okay, as you all know that the formula for stroke volume, that is Vs, is nothing but pi by 4 d square into L, which is what formula for the stroke volume. From this value, we can find out the Vs. From this, we can find out the Vs, and that is nothing but that is pi by 4 into diameter is 100 mm, so in meter it is zero point 0.1, and stroke is 150 mm, so in meter it is 0.15. So stroke volume comes out to be 1.178 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter square. So okay, this will be the formula. From this Vs, we can also find out Vc, as it is given in the relation is given in the numerical, that is Vc is 0.03 times V. Yes, 0.03 times. Yes, from this we can find out Vc also. Now, what we have to find out is the speed of a compressor. Okay, now first of all we find out the rate of actual volume saved per minute. Here we are finding the actual volume flow rate. Rate of actual volume is what? Volume flow rate. Okay, so volume flow rate. So actual volume flow rate from the cylinder is V1 minus V4. Actual volume flow rate from the cylinder is V1 minus V4, and theoretical volume is V1 minus V3. That is swept volume. So actual volume flow rate can be calculated as, that is V1 minus V4. This is nothing but stroke volume into volumetric efficiency. As we are calculating the volume flow rate per minute or per second, here we are calculating per minute. So we need to multiply this with the number of RPM of a reciprocating shaft. So here value will be, I'm considering this as a year. Now first of all we have to find out V1 minus V4. For that purpose we are applying a ideal gas equation. So if you apply ideal gas equation, you will get the equation, that is P1 into V1 minus V4 is equal to m dot into R into T1. Now what you have to find out V1 minus V4. So this can be find out by, it is m dot into R into T1 upon P1. As the mass flow rate of air is known to us, that is 0.7. It is in kg per minute. So answer will be in meter cube per minute. The value of R is 287 kilojoule per kg. Similarly, temperature is 298 and pressure is 1 into 10 raised to 5. So that is 1 bar. So we have to convert it into a Newton per meter square. So 1 into 10 raised to 5. So final answer comes out to be 0.5987 meter cube per minute. So this will be the volume flow rate of a actual volume flow rate through a compressor. Once you find out this, you have to just put in this equation and we can find out the RPM of a compressor. Okay, so you have to just put this in this formula. So this V1 minus V4 is 0.5987 meter cube per minute. Similarly, it is equal to the mass, it is equal to the volumetric efficiency, that is 0.911 into stroke volume, that is 1.178 into 10 raised to minus 3 into number of RPM. So this will give us a final answer, that is 558 RPM. So the revolution of a shaft of a reciprocating compressor, it will revolve at a 558 revolution per minute. So this is how we can solve the numericals on single stage reciprocating compressor. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can go to the chat section and ask. If you understand, just raise your hand. Does anybody having any doubt? If you understand, just raise your hand so that we can move towards the next numerical. So this is a numerical basically on single stage reciprocating compressor, single stage single acting reciprocating compressor. If it is a double acting reciprocating compressor, in that case numerical answer will be somewhat different. The basic difference between the single acting reciprocating compressor and double acting reciprocating compressor is nothing but, in case of a single acting reciprocating compressor, in the single revolution of a crank, there will be only one discharge, and in case of a double acting reciprocating compressor, in one revolution of a crank, there will be a twice the discharge of a air takes place through a compressor. So this is the basic difference between the reciprocating compressor of single acting and double acting. Okay, so these are the things that you have to find out. And in MCQ also they might ask you volumetric efficiency of a compressor. Say, I already told you that the number of ways we can find out the volumetric efficiency. Then power supply to drive the compressor. For that purpose, we need to know the mechanical efficiency of a compressor. If you know the mechanical efficiency of compressor, you can easily find out. As you all know, the mechanical efficiency is the reverse of the mechanical. If you have to calculate the mechanical efficiency for the reciprocating compressor, it is the reverse of mechanical efficiency of a internal combustion engine. The speed of a compressor, again, I have told you how to find out the speed of a compressor. For that purpose, we need to take into account the volume flow rate of a compressor. For that purpose, we need to know the actual swept volume and the theoretical swept volume. Okay, so from that, we can easily find out the RPM of a compressor. Now we will move towards the next numerical, that is numerical on multi-stage compressor. Okay, so this is the numerical. I'll just read it out. A two-stage reciprocating air compressor takes in air at 1 bar and 27 degrees Celsius. Air is delivered at 10 bar. The intermediate pressure is ideal and intercooling is perfect. Okay, so perfect intercooling is given. So law of compression is P raised to 1.35 is equal to constant. So compression is carried out by a polytropic process as the value of N is 1.35. The rate of discharge is 0.5 kg per second. Means the volume flow rate of air is 0.1 kg per second. Find power required to drive the compressor. Saving in work compared to single stage compressor. Okay, so we have to compare the two Verdun's formula. The next, isothermal efficiency for multi-stage and heat rejected in case of a intercooler. As intercooler is provided. Okay, so I will just draw it down the diagram on the screen so that we can understand. There is a two-stage reciprocating compressor. So first stage, there will be one cylinder. Okay, okay, so it takes in air at 1 bar and 27 degrees Celsius temperature, and air is delivered at 10 bar. Okay, so intermediate pressure is not given. There is another cylinder, and in that there is an intercooler. Okay, so it will deliver this air at a pressure of P2, and this pressurized air is supplied to the another cylinder. This delivers this air at a 10 bar. This delivers this air at a 10 bar. As the air cooling is, as the intercooling is perfect, so one can find out this as P2 is equal to, as the number of stages are 2, so this will be a square root of P1 into P3, and this will give value of P2. Now law of compression is 1.35 and the rate of discharge is 0.1 kg per second. Value of R is given, value of Cp is also given. What we have to find out? Power required to drive the compressor. So you have to follow the same procedure as you have solved the numerical in first stage. Okay, so we'll move, first find out the power required to drive the compressor. So this is the data that is given. Now the P2 is how much? 3.1623. As earlier I have told you that this P2 is equal to square root of P1 into P3. So here you can see the diagram. This will be the suction process in a first stage compressor. Okay, so the condition at 1 is given, that is 1 bar pressure and 27 degrees Celsius temperature. Then this air is compressed by a polytropic process up to, I'm considering this as a 2 dash. I'm considering this as a 2 dash, and further it is intercooled, it is cooled. Okay, so for in first of all, it is process 1 to 2, that is polytropic compression. Okay, so that is 1.3 raised to 1, PV raised to 1.3 is equal to constant. Then it is cooled in the intercooler up to 2 dash. Okay, so in case of a single stage, also the process will be followed by for 1 to 2. In case of a multi-stage, also process will be followed by 1 to 2. After that, intercooling take place, and once intercooling it take place, then process 2 to 3 is carried out, where it is discharged at a pressure of 10 bar. It is discharged at a pressure of 10 bar. Okay. Now this 1, 2, 2 dash 3 indicates about the multi-stage compression. This process indicates about the multi-stage. Multi-stage. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 dash 3 indicates multi-stage, and this process 1 to 1, 2, 4 indicates about single stage. Okay, so in case of a single stage compression, then this air will be compressed by a polytropic process with the law PV raised to 1.3 is equal to constant. Okay, so now first of all you have to find out the power required to drive the compressor. Okay, so power required to drive the compressor, again we have to use a simple formula, as it is a multi-stage compressor. So formula that we can use here, that is twice into m mass flow rate of air into gas constant into a temperature, that is T1 temperature, that is already known to us, into n upon n minus 1. This is the formula that is we already derived, into P2 by P1 raised to n minus 1 upon n. As P2 is known to us, P1 is also known to us. If you put instead of P2 here P3, then here will be equation will be raised to n minus 1 upon 2n. There will be a 2n if it is P3 over here minus 1. With this we can find out the final answer, that is P is equal to that is power required to drive the multi-stage compression. In case of sorry, this is what for the first stage. This will be what only, just a minute. This is as here is a 2, so this will be for the multi-stage compressor. This will be what power required to drive the multi-stage compressor, and it is comes out to be 22.7 kilowatt. Okay. Now next thing that we have to find out, the as you have to compare with the single stage compressor, if the pressure is rise from 1 bar to a 10 bar with the help of single stage, in that case power required to drive the single stage compressor comes out to be, as it is taking place in a single stage. So this is our simple formula that we already seen earlier. Okay, so this is the formula for the power required for single stage compressor. Just we have to put all those things in this equation, that is mass flow rate into gas constant, temperature, values of n, and we'll get the answer, that is 26.16 kilowatt. Also this is the power required in case of a single stage compressor, and this much is the power required in case of a multi-stage compressor when there is an intercooler. Okay, and this is the amount of work that is saved during the process. This is the amount of work that is saved during the process. So one can see that here, as power required to drive the multi-stage compressor is 22.7 kilowatt, and power required to drive the single stage compressor is 26.616 kilowatt. So one can say that the power required to drive the single stage compressor is more than the power required to drive the multi-stage compressor. Okay, so and this difference will give us as a power saved. This difference, that is 26.16 minus 22.7, gives us a power saved, that is saving in work compared to the single stage. Okay, so that is the difference will gives us the saving, that is 26.16 minus 22.7. This will give us power saved. Okay, so up to this, have you understand? Just raise your hand, then we'll move further. Okay, so both two things that we have already found out. There is power required to drive the compressor, then whatever the power saved in comparison with the single stage. So now next thing that we have to find out the isothermal efficiency of a multi-stage. Isothermal efficiency of a multi-stage compressor. So to find out the isothermal efficiency, as you all know, the isothermal efficiency is nothing but the isothermal power input to the actual power input. Okay, so actual power input we already find out. Okay, so actual power input is already find out, that is nothing but the one in case of a polytropic compression. Okay, so which we've already find out for multi-stage also and for the single stage also. Now find out the isothermal power, you have to just use a formula, that is MRT1 into log of P3 by P1 into log of P3 by 1 P1. This will give us isothermal input. This dotted line, that is from 1, 2 dash, 3 dash, indicates the isothermal compression. This indicates isothermal compression. So here we can find out the isothermal power, that is 19.825 kilowatt. This is in kilowatt, where the unit is not given, so it is in kilowatt, 19.825. So we compare the isothermal efficiency of a multi-stage compressor also and a single stage compressor. So here we can see that for multi-stage compressor, efficiency comes out to be, isothermal efficiency comes out to be 87.35%. Means we are reaching towards this curve. We are reaching towards this curve. So as we can see that the one PV diagram, area under the curve is nothing but the work required. As here we can see that the efficiency, isothermal efficiency in case of multi-stage compressor is more compared to a single stage compressor for same pressure ratio. So one can say that the multi-stage compression is efficient compared to a single stage compressor. So multi-stage compression along with the intercooler, it is efficient in comparison with the single stage compressor. Okay, so this is nothing but the isothermal efficiency for single stage and multi-stage compressor. Okay, the next thing that we have to find out, the last thing, that is heat rejected in intercooler. So for that purpose, so heat rejected in intercooler. So before going to the heat rejected into the intercooler, we will see the process first. As we can see, this is the 1 to 2 process that is carried out in the single first stage compressor or cylinder, and this 2 to 2 dash is the process that is carried out in intercooler. Okay, so initially there is air which is at a temperature T1, then this is intercooled, that is perfectly intercooled to a temperature of a 2 dash. So this 2 dash temperature must be equals to a 2-1. This 2 dash temperature must be equals to a 2-1. There will be a sensible heat transfer. So one can find out this as a, that is MCP T2 minus T2. You just have to find out the formula. You have to use the formula of sensibility or sensible cooling. As here is the sensible cooling takes place, sensible cooling of air takes place. So there must be some heat transfer in the intercooler. Okay, so this can be found out MCP T2 minus T2 dash. This is a process that is carried out in the intercooler. Now mass flow rate of air is known to us, that is 0.1 kg per second. CP is also known to us. CP is given, that is 1 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. T2 temperature is not known to us, but process 1 to 2 is polytropic compression. So one can use a relation, that is, just a minute. So one can use this relation, that is T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to n minus 1 upon n. Okay, this is the relation that we already derived in thermodynamics. Okay, so from this we can find out T2. Okay, as this formula is, I already discussed with you. Okay, so in case of perfect intercooling, this T2 dash, this is not T2, this T2 dash will be equals to T1, and this is what in case of a perfect intercooling. So heat transfer will be what, m dot into MCP into T2 temperature is 391.3, then T2 dash temperature is nothing but the T1 temperature. It is nothing but the T1 temperature. So this will got T2 dash. This will got T2 dash. This will got 300. So heat rejected in the intercooler will be 9.13 kilowatt. Means in order to bring the air temperature to the atmospheric temperature, we need to reject 9.13 kilowatt of heat. Yes. Yes. In order to bring the air to the surrounding temperature. So this is the some of the numericals on single stage and multi-stage compressor. So I hope you all understand. If you have any doubt, just go to the chat section. If you understand, just raise your hand.